Hey guys, Tucker Carlson's back. That's right. Where do you think he went? We said Rumble, we said Newsmax, we thought of all sorts of things. Daily Wire perhaps, independent YouTube channel, just him like Megyn Kelly. Well, he went back, or he is back on Twitter. Now, I don't know if this is a partnership with Elon Musk, but I do know that there's a new clip that has just surfaced 30 minutes ago, and I'm going to play it for you right now. But of course, I got to show you the store. It would be appreciated if you purchase something. The algorithm is currently suppressing us at an alarming rate. The views they're doing what they do to people who they don't like. So every purchase helps us fight demonetization, helps us fight limiting. Now, I'm like, let's just get out of here. There's a clip. I'm listening to it cold. I do not know what he's about to say. Let's hear it. Let's get into it. Tucker.
Hey, it's Tucker Carlson. You often hear people say the news is full of lies, but most of the time that's not exactly right. Much of what you see on television or read the New York Times is in fact true in the literal sense. It could pass one of the media's own fact checks. Lawyers would be willing to sign off on it. In fact, they may have. But that doesn't make it true. It's not true. At the most basic level, the news you consume is a lie of the stealthiest and most insidious kind. Facts have been withheld on purpose, along with proportion and perspective. You are being manipulated. How does that work? Let's see. If I tell you that a man has been unjustly arrested for armed robbery, that is not, strictly speaking, a lie. He may have been framed. At this point, there's been no trial, so no one can really say. But if I don't mention the fact that the same man has been arrested for the same crime 6 times before, am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you. And that's what the news media are doing in every story that matters, every day of the week, every week of the year. What's it like to work in a system like that? After more than 30 years in the middle of it, we could tell you stories. The best you can hope for in the news business at this point is the freedom to tell the fullest truth that you can. But there are always limits. And you know that if you bump up against those limits often enough, you will be fired for it. That's not a guess, it's guaranteed. Every person who works in English language media understands that. The rule of what you can't say defines everything. It's filthy, really, and it's utterly corrupting. You can't have a free society if people aren't allowed to say what they think is true. Speech is the fundamental prerequisite for democracy. That's why it's enshrined in the first of our constitutional amendments. Amazingly, as of tonight, there aren't many platforms left that allow free speech. The last big one remaining in the world, the only one, is Twitter, where we are now. Twitter has long served as the place where our national conversation incubates and develops. Twitter is not a partisan site. Everybody's allowed here, and we think that's a good thing. And yet, for the most part, the news that you see analyzed on Twitter comes from media organizations that are themselves thinly disguised propaganda outlets. You see it on cable news, you talk about it on Twitter. The result may feel like a debate, but actually the gatekeepers are still in charge. We think that's a bad system. We know exactly how it works, and we're sick of it. Starting soon, we'll be bringing a new version of the show we've been doing for the last 6.5 years to Twitter. We'll be bringing some other things too, which we'll tell you about. But for now, we're just grateful to be here. Free speech is the main right that you have. Without it, you have no others. See you soon.
Whoa. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Tucker has some things going on. This is incredible. I mean, we're already at, like, if you look here, those are his views so far. I mean, come on. Any show he does, this is how it's going to be.
This is full of
Easy, Tucker. But this is how it's going to be. This is incredible.
lies. But most of the time, that's not exact.
I am just blown away. That is Tucker. So he's coming on Twitter. He said there's going to be a few more things, so we're not sure what that is. And my thinking towards this is that it's actually it could be, and I don't know, but it could just be a placeholder because maybe Fox doesn't have any right to keep him from posting on social media. Now, something like YouTube would be seen as a competitor because Fox has a YouTube channel, so you can't do that. Fox also has a Twitter, but Twitter is more of just social media. It's just posting. It's just words. Sometimes it's video. Sometimes it's long. Sometimes it's short. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's a loophole in the contract, or maybe they have completely obliterated that contract. Maybe he's won. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is where Tucker is going to be going forward. He's going to be on Twitter. I do not know. But I just figured I'd bring you guys that clip in full. And, I'll go back to that tweet. Like Tucker says at the top here, we're back. We are back, according to Tucker Carlson. This is going to be very interesting. Now, I just played the whole clip for you, so he hasn't exactly said when he's going to be posting, how frequent it's going to be, or if it's just going to be like the show, it's just going to be 5 days a week. Who knows? But I'll keep you guys posted, and this is very exciting. And you know what? I'm just talking about the whole thing, but what he said is very impactful. Calling out these media companies as propaganda outlets. It's exactly what they are. Even mentioned why he got fired without mentioning why he got fired. He said that if you speak the truth too much, you're going to bump up to the limits. And when you bump up to the limits, you're going to get fired, and it's a guarantee. And I think that's exactly what happened to him. Now, a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I suggested that when he did that video coming at Big Pharma and the mainstream media as a whole, I was like, that was the death blow. That was the death blow that he was throwing at them, and they threw it right back at him. I think that's exactly what happened. It has nothing to do with Dominion, I don't think. It has everything to do with the fact that he was speaking on Big Pharma, and the people who are backing Fox financially are also entangled in Big Pharma. That's what I think's going on. Or at least that's what I think happened to Tucker. But what do you think? Let me know what you think. Are you going to be... I know there's a lot of people who are like, I'm not into Twitter. Listen, you're not into Twitter? All good. I'm into Twitter. So every time he has a show, I'll bring you the highlights. No problem. We'll make a whole show out of it. Tucker highlights. I got no problem with that. Same way I bring you everything about James O'Keefe that I find out. No problem at all. But for those of you that have it, are you going to be plugging in to what Tucker's doing? Are you happy about this decision? Would you be happier if it was Newsmax or something that was a little quote unquote bigger in terms of, a network? I don't know. I'm happy that it seems like he's going to get to speak his full truth. That's what matters the most, that he gets to speak his exact truth. Because when he gets to speak the whole truth, we get to hear the whole truth. And then we become an informed populace. And that's the key. That's the key. Everything that you have, everything in your life right now that feels like it's shit, the government situation, it just feels terrible. All of that can be changed by all of us being informed properly. If everyone in the media decided to be completely truthful and just bring you the truth, our lives would change dramatically. Because then you wouldn't need to have this whole left and right thing. You wouldn't need to have this whole tribe thing. You wouldn't need to have this whole constantly fighting and divide and conquer thing going on. We would all have the truth, and we'd all be able to move accordingly. Man, I love it. I'm going to go listen to that clip about 9 more times. But other than that, I am out.